Good morning, ladies. I am creating this video. This is probably the 15th take, which I wish I would have stuck with my first video because I was in PJs and my hair was a hot mess, but I wanted to make something a little more uniform because I'm putting this out on YouTube. What? Yes, I am putting this cheesy video out on YouTube, but I want to do it as a bold and playful move forward in creating my dream for the podcast that I'm going to have in the near future. And I feel like that we're going to use this in one of our future workshops and put it up on a screen, and everybody's going to be laughing at this. And I'm excited about that because just helping people laugh and see how normal we all are and how we're all the same feels really good to me. So here I go. This morning I was doing my morning pages with the God of my understanding, and this podcast came up. And if one of the things that came into my heart was, well, what's keeping me from this podcast? Why aren't I moving forward in this? And I felt this like anxious desire inside of me that's so deep that wants to move forward, but it feels like this part of my dream is so far away. Well, so I started going deeper with that. I started talking to the God of my understanding with this and looking into my soul about what's keeping me from moving forward. And the thoughts that came to my mind were, well, my job. There's so much energy expended there throughout the day. And I feel like most of my inspired energy is in the morning and a little bit later. And so I feel like my current job takes away from that. And also there's so much knowledge required with putting out this podcast. And it's really not that much, but it's the techie stuff. And I'm not a techie person. So that feels like it requires more energy than what I have to give when I come home in the afternoons. And my weekends are really, really busy. So it feels like I don't have the time for it. The next thought that came to me, is if you have the desire, then you have the time, which I think is an interesting joke because that's not the reality in me. I know that my desire for this podcast is really, really strong. It feels deep within me, but I feel inadequate in these other areas and they feel really heavy. So then my spirit led me to this. What would happen if you just played with doing a podcast? One of the things I've learned from this book study that Susan and I have been doing with this group called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which, by the way, I will be doing a book study on this book in a few weeks. It is phenomenal and life-changing, at least for me, was that it's important to have just a playful attitude towards your creative endeavors. Like to just be a kid and play, like to not just make it so big. That sometimes when we make things really big, we're doing it to keep us from moving forward. We're actually acting out in a fear of what would happen if I actually moved forward in this step towards my dream. It's safer to think about it and dream about it and almost stay in the deficiency feeling of it than to actually take steps. And so as I looked at it, and I've already been changed by looking deeper into myself and my creative world, I realized that I could play. In fact, I like to play. And what would play look like for me? And so as I explored that this morning, one of the other thoughts that came to my mind was an action step would feel really good and help me feel like I'm moving forward with my dream of this podcast. And I thought to myself, well, what action step would that be? And this came to mind. It's putting out a microphone, putting the camera, and putting these headphones. Now, I'm not actually doing the podcast. This is actually going to end up being a YouTube video, but what the heck, whatever. It feels good. It feels fun. It feels playful. And I have to tell you right now, I feel completely inspired, excited. I want to do more of this. And I feel like this is exactly what I need to manifest my future podcast. It's taking the playful step in my creativity to just have fun with what I want to do. And what do I want to do with this podcast? I just want to have conversations, normal conversations. I want to help people. I want to coach people. I'm so excited about coaching people and just helping them find themselves and fulfill their dreams because I know each of us has a dream that can be fulfilled. And I want to do it in such a fun way and an intimate way. And I feel like I'm taking the step right now to make that happen. So if I could put you in my body right now, you would feel my playful, youthful excitement, my inspiration, motivation, and all kinds of stuff. So I want to ask you, I'm hoping you're motivated by this. I'm hoping that I'll get some honest feedback from you. Kathy, I hope you're already preparing for what you want the background to look like, how we manage the volume and how we market this, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you're already working on that, Kathy. And I'm sure that you're looking at the yoga side of this, right, Melissa? And Diana, you're setting up the venue for where this is going to be. And Susan, you're going to have some playful stuff for us to create after we're done with this little talk, right? I'm sure that's what you guys are doing. Does that sound like a bully? Do I sound like a dream bully? Is there such a thing, a dream bully? Anyway, my question to you is this. What dream do you have in your heart right now, or what creative endeavor do you have in your heart right now that is just requiring the next step? What dream do you have right now that feels too far away? Like it feels like there's too many variables that need to be mastered before you can achieve it. And how can you arrive at the next step in a playful way? Is there a next step that would just be fun for you? I have to tell you that I've got this microphone in front of me and these earphones and this camera, but I'm not doing a podcast. I'm doing a YouTube video. But who cares? I'm playing. This is little girl Diane playing in podcast land. So anyway, I just want to thank you for being here with me. Thank you for letting me share this cheesy video with you. I'd love to hear some feedback from you, either here in the comment section, girls, or in our private texting place. I feel very open and vulnerable to just honest feedback. I feel like I've got the self-esteem now to handle true critique and true love and true vulnerability. So bring it on and let's keep moving. I love you. Talk to you soon.